What's going on, everyone? We're going to take a look at our newest Xbox 360 we have up for sale. This is a custom Star Wars Xbox 360 Slim. And find the full build videos on this same channel here. But just to go over everything real quick, as I said, it's a Star Wars Slim. It's actually a 16 megabyte Corona. It is RGH3. It has some of the original Star Wars shell left on it, and the rest of it is an original Ghost Case clear shell. Not that that really matters, I just thought I'd point out it's not one of the new Phenom Mod shells. This is an old one that has been around for quite a while. We've got some of the other Star Wars bits swapped onto here, like our USB door, our disk drive bezel, which of course does not actually do anything, but it is the Star Wars one, help me Obi-Wan Kenobi. We of course still have the blue ring of light in the front, and the bezel in the back. Our hard drive has been upgraded to a 1 terabyte, which is loaded with Aurora and like 190 games on there. We'll look at that when we get it turned on. The top and bottom trim pieces are not the original white, they're actually painted white with a little bit of glow in the dark underneath there. And then we have obviously the modified vents on the top and the intact ones on the bottom, and we will show this horizontal in a minute. It is designed to still be upright or horizontal. It'll work either way, just like factory. Now the innards, we've got a universal GPU water block on there I've used in many builds before. We have a DCLT 2600 version 2 pump, totally dead silent. We've got our flow meter right here that then goes down. It's going to go through the water block and then come up, do kind of a 90 right up into here, into the radiator. This is a 120 millimeter slim gloss white radiator. I believe it's either black ice or just an XSPC. I do not remember, I've had it a while. And it comes out of that radiator, 90, straight up here back into the reservoir. And obviously from the reservoir straight down into the pump. You've got a 60 millimeter diameter reservoir up top, pretty much the biggest size you could fit, so that it can still lay down on its side. We've got this extra fitting up here. This just aids in filling and draining the system. So this can be up here to fill, or if it's horizontal, have it this way, have it pointed away if you're going to drain it, or you can get it all the way out of the way like this, or having it straight down actually makes it just flush with the table, so it almost looks like the loop is part of the table. There is a dye in here. It is normal regular water coolant, basically, where there's no color. But then we added some UV clear blue dye to it. We'll probably add some more. It's not super bright, but you will get this cool bluish teal glow from anywhere you can see the fluid. I forgot to mention with the hard drive, we of course have the full clear blue shell on there as well. And then over here on our radiator, we have a custom 3D printed R2-D2 fan grill on here that a friend of mine printed out. Unfortunately, his mounting holes were slightly off. They were just a few millimeters short, so I made this custom adapter plate behind it, so we got screwed onto that, and now it fits just fine. And then we've got a blue fan filter right behind here, regular Phillips screws. You could pop this off, take the filter out, clean it up, change it out, whatever you want to do. Sure, I don't need to point out the decals. As I've mentioned in the listing, we have named this R2H2. Controller here is chrome shell on the back. We've got the clear blue battery pack, some white buttons. These are actually aftermarket white buttons. They're not OEM ones. Not that there's a difference, but they are brand new. Same with the thumbsticks and D-pad. And then I also found a cool set of clear buttons that I threw on here. So the X, Y, B start and select buttons are clear. Looks like they were handmade. And then we have additional blue LEDs on our rocker motors here that you'll see flash when the controller vibrates. And I put one of the aftermarket rings around that guide button, which puts it on a slight angle. I don't know, is that dumb or kind of gangster? Now we've got some UV LEDs in like our pump, our flow meter, Long one along the bottom. We have a slim black frame, clear blue blade fan underneath this radiator. And the fan blades actually glow blue under UV lights. You'll be able to see that a little bit. There's not actually LEDs in the fan itself. Now, the question is, does it still make the Star Wars sounds? Of course it does. Even our eject button here, which obviously there is no disk drive, this is an all-digital build, just like our Kylo Ren build not too long ago. But just like that one, you can still hit this button to get those noises. Obviously nothing's going to open up. You can see the glowing of the fan right here, of course through the front. See our flow meter here. And you cannot hear that pump at all, but it's obviously pumping. All you can hear is the whoosh of the fan. You can't actually hear the fan, just kind of hear the airflow. And the airflow real quick. Of course, this is a 120mm radiator, 120mm fan underneath, and instead of pulling air out the front like OEM and pulling air in through like the sides, this fan is blowing air into the system, so it's sucking it through the radiator. The radiator is getting the freshest, coldest air. And then there's actually two more 40mm UV fans here and here up top underneath this bezel piece that's helping draw air through the top. You can see that right here. And those are actually the UV lights that are helping the fluid glow in the reservoir. Here we go, we've got Aurora. Oop. Should probably connect the controller. There we go. Controller working. And yeah, these are pretty much the temperatures. Probably closer to 55, but it definitely stays below 60 Celsius. This thing caps out pretty quickly and keeps it at a really nice uniform temperature. We aren't obviously not going to go through everything on here, but give you a quick little peek. There's a little bit of everything on here. No, I cannot add any custom games or anything. That is up to you to put your own hard drive in or put in games that you specifically want. Literally the most random mix of stuff. If there's nothing on here that interests you, then I guess you probably wouldn't be interested in this listing to begin with. So yeah, there you go. You can see a little bit of that blue tint there. I still need to run this a little bit longer, make sure the air is out, and top it off, and we're going to add a little bit more of that UV blue as well, but you can definitely see it glowing. So that is pretty much this entire build. And as I said, you get the system, the controller, your hard drive, power supply, and HDMI. Everything you need to open up the box, plug it in, and start playing some games. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and I will answer it as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. So yeah, I added more. Also, I don't think I showed the bottom, but yeah, like I said, factory white